Okay, so it seems like the Eagles could have just leaked who is going to be their new starter at one very important position on offense, so if this is true, is it a good decision? Meanwhile, there have been trade rumors swirling yet again around one of the Eagles' top players, but the Birds have done their best to shut all those down in recent days. Plus, the Eagles are continuing to work hard during voluntary OTAs, and Jalen Hurts specifically came out and said that he's ready and embracing the challenge of learning the Eagles' new offense, while Cam Jurgens is hyped about the addition of Saquon Barkley, and also his opportunity to replace Jason Kelce as the starting center. And on top of that, we just got a massive update on Isaiah Rodgers and more updates on the Eagles draft plan. So we're going to talk about all that and more, and we won't waste any time. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so let's start this off with Eagles legend Brandon Graham, who just rang the bell for the Sixers ahead of their play-in game against the Heat, in which the Sixers proceeded to pull off an epic comeback win against Jimmy Butler in Miami in what will inevitably go down as the Nick Batum game. And now Philly's going to take on the Knicks in the first round, so for any Eagles fans that are also Sixers fans, that's definitely something to be excited about. But now just strictly getting back to the Birds and BG, he got the chance to speak to the media in a press conference on Wednesday, where he expressed excitement for his final season, where he hopes to end his career off the right way.
Man, I'm excited just to be here right now. That's why I'm here in OTAs, just trying to enjoy every little day. We just getting started, but I do love just the feeling of how the team rolling right now. It's truly a blessing to be here, sitting in this chair one more time. I mean, -2 Kelce and Fletch, but I know that they're gonna be helping as much as they can from the chairs. But I know that we're gonna have something special this year. I can feel it.
Hopefully BG's right and something special does happen for this team this year. But to get there, it's going to be a lot of hard work, but just based on what we've seen so far, it seems like the Eagles aren't backing away from that. In fact, they're leaning into it. And one player who seems to be going extra hard in his offseason work this year is the returning CJ Gardner-Johnson, who has been seen in multiple videos in these past few weeks training hard individually to get ready for this upcoming season. And actually, very recently, CJ's trainer actually said something very interesting that should get you even more excited about the mentality that Gardner-Johnson has had recently. As he said, quote, "Every year he had been locked in, but I never seen him this locked in." So that should tell you everything you need to know about CJ and how much effort he's putting in as he continues to prepare for the season. And speaking of that, the Eagles of course have also just very recently gotten back in the building as a group to start putting in their offseason work together, and we continue to get new information and photos out of that as the days go on, and much of it coming straight from the players themselves, as like Brandon Graham, many of them got the chance to speak to the media in press conferences recently, and that includes the face of this team in Jalen Hurts, who just spoke on the Eagles' new offense and coaching staff while saying that he's ready and eager to learn everything.
We're just all excited. I know they're kind of finalizing some of the things and, crossing their T's and dotting their I's in terms of, what it's exactly going to be. But I'm just all ears. I'm a sponge, and, I think there's some beauty in that.
So it's great to hear that QB1 is ready to take the changes in stride, and I'm just really excited to see how Jalen and the rest of the offense look in Kellen Moore's system and scheme, because I really do think that it's going to be a whole lot better than last year. And one thing that I'm just excited about regarding the offense in general is how Saquon Barkley is going to look and how they choose to utilize his special skill set at the running back position. I mean, I don't think I'm alone on that, because I'm sure if you ask an Eagles fan what new player they're most excited to watch this upcoming season, a good amount of them are going to say Saquon Barkley. Heck, our own players are all hyped up for the addition of Saquon, with Cam Jurgens being the latest one to express his excitement.
I saw we signed Saquon Barkley. Did you guys see that? I'm pretty fired up about that.
While it does suck that we won't ever get to see Saquon Barkley running behind Jason Kelce, I'm still excited to see him running behind Cam Jurgens, because Cam is obviously a guy who Kelce handpicked to be his replacement and has a lot of the same skills and strengths as Jason. I mean, for example, he's a guy like Kelce that is very capable of pulling and getting out into space in the run game. But despite all the similarities in their actual game on the field, we can't expect Cam to come in here and be what Kelce was. I mean, that's just way too high of an expectation to place on the kid, and apparently Jurgens doesn't want to fall into that trap of trying to be the next Jason Kelce either, as he said this during his press conference.
I mean, I'm just, at the end of the day, just be myself. I'm not trying to be somebody's replacement or somebody's next person. Like, I'm just trying to be myself. Can I be the best football player I can be in wherever position they put me? That's what I'm going to do. I'm not worried about anything else besides what I can control. And really, it's like, what can I do today? What can I do to learn? What can I do to get better? And how can I be the best football player I can be, and not how can I be what he was, What are we going to do tomorrow? So that's how I got to look at it.
Honestly, I feel like that's the perfect mentality for Jurgens to have. Don't try to be someone else, don't try to be someone's replacement, just focus on being the best version of you and being the best player that you can be, because if you get caught up in trying to live up to being the next Jason Kelce, that's where I think Cam could get himself in trouble. So I feel like his mindset right now is perfect, and I'm honestly really excited to see how he looks as the starting center next year. But just staying on Jurgens in his press conference for a little bit, he also did say something that I think is very, very interesting that could maybe give us a hint as to who the Eagles are planning to start at right guard next year.
Hey, who took over your old locker?
Tyler is over there now.
So there, in that clip, you could hear Cam Jurgens saying that now that he has moved over to Jason Kelce's old locker, second-year man Tyler Steen is the one who now has Jurgens' old locker from last year. And Ruben Frank broke down why this could mean that it looks like Steen is set to be the new starting right guard, as he wrote an article on that topic where he said, quote, "In the back right-hand corner of the Eagles locker room at the NovaCare complex, there are 5 lockers in a row that belong to the starting offensive lineman. Since Doug Peterson was here, those 5 lockers have been arranged in the same order as the starting line. So with Tyler Steen now being the guy that holds the starting right guard locker, that certainly seems like a sign that he's the early favorite to get the starting right guard job, and personally, I love that. I mean, the reason you draft guys is because you hope that they can eventually make an impact and be starters or big contributors for your football team, and it seems like they have enough confidence in where Tyler Steen is at in his development to give him that opportunity heading into his second year. Now, last year, Steen didn't play much at all, excluding a very nice 6-play stretch, I believe, against Washington, and then he actually did get one start against the Cowboys in Week 9, where he kind of got thrown into the fire a little bit with an injury to both right guards in Cam Jurgens and Sua Opeta, and sure, while the numbers weren't great, at least according to PFF, if you actually watched that game, you could kind of tell that Steen was a little bit jumpy early on, which is where he made the majority of his mistakes, but then he settled down a little bit as the game went on, and things definitely got a lot better, and Lane Johnson actually praised his performance after the game, so I'm sure with an entire offseason to continue to work and develop and just get chemistry and comfortability in that starting right guard spot, things are only going to get better heading into next season. I mean, that's just me. I personally do believe in Steen and think he'll end up turning out to be a solid right guard if he does in fact start, but what do you guys think? Now, in addition to all that, I'm going to talk about a whole lot more here in just a minute, but before we do that, I just want to say, if you are enjoying this video and don't want to miss any others like it covering the Eagles in the future, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also really, really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. I think that's a win-win for the both of us. I mean, I get more people watching the videos, and you get more Eagles content just like this, so again, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And now with that being said, let's get back into the video. Now, I was just talking about the offense for a while, but now let's switch over to the defense, and specifically linebacker Nakobe, who of course is coming off a very injury-riddled season, and during his press conference on Wednesday, he gave us a very important update regarding his health.
Got hurt, had surgery, had got the plate and everything out, and now we just continue to work through it and build strength to get stronger.
Are you ready? Are you 100%?
We getting there soon.
When do you think you'll be ready?
Soon.
So hopefully he's fully healthy soon, like he said, because the Eagles defense is going to be relying on Nakobe very heavily this year. I mean, the Birds are really showing a lot of faith in him despite his struggles on the field and also just his struggles to stay on the field last season, and they're going to be relying on him to be a starter and a big-time contributor for this defense. So he's going to need all the time he can get to be healthy and prepare and develop and just get implemented into this scheme that Vic Fangio is going to utilize, and honestly, hopefully he can just stay healthy, because that's the most important thing. And if he can, he's going to be just one of many young players that the Eagles are going to be relying on heavily on the defensive side of the ball this year. And that, with the combination of defensive coordinator Vic Fangio's experience, is something that NFL insider Adam Schefter actually thinks could work out for the Eagles defense this year. As he went on 97.5 The Fanatic, where he said, quote, "They are so youthful on defense, I think that they feel like we can do that because we're experienced in the coaching booth with Vic Fangio. You take the youth of the defense and combine it with the old world Vic, and together, that's a nice combination." So hopefully Schefter is right, and the Birds defense puts out a much better product than we saw from them last year. And also, speaking of youth on the defense, it seems like the Eagles could be set to add quite a bit more of that when the draft rolls around in around a week here, as we continue to get updates on what the Eagles' potential plans could be in the upcoming draft, with one of the most recent ones being from draft guru Daniel Jeremiah, where he said that he personally wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles were to trade up for one of the 2 top cornerbacks in this draft class, in either Alabama's Terrion Arnold, who they just met with this past week, or Quinyon Mitchell, who the Eagles talked to at the Senior Bowl and has been touted as an ideal choice for the Birds if they want to add a cornerback. And honestly, I'd personally love if the Eagles decided to take either one of those guys, because I really do think that both are going to end up being very, very good players, and the Eagles definitely need to get younger at cornerback and also preferably find a replacement for James Bradbury now. Plus, the cornerback position could have actually just become even more of a need with Isaiah Rodgers' status for next year in question, as the NFL just announced that it's reinstating some players that were suspended due to gambling for this upcoming season, but Isaiah Rodgers' name was not on that list, which honestly honestly had many Eagles fans, including myself, scratching our heads. Now, not all hope is lost for Rodgers to play this year, as he has filed for reinstatement, but this definitely is not a good sign that he hasn't been reinstated already, and it seems like there's a chance that he could be suspended through this season as well, with Anthony DeBona providing some context, saying, quote, "I'm not aware of the specifics of what type of bets the 5 NFL players that were reinstated by the league today caused their suspension, but regarding Eagles cornerback Isaiah Rodgers Sr., he did place bets involving the Colts, which was his current team at the time. The NFL introduced a new policy in September of 2023 that stated players who place a bet involving their own team will be suspended a minimum of 2 years. Therefore, despite Rodgers placing his wagers before that policy was in place, the NFL could choose to keep him out of the league for at least 1 more year. So I don't know, hopefully that doesn't end up happening, but regardless of however it plays out, this definitely is not the most promising update on the Isaiah Rodgers situation, but we'll keep you updated on this channel. But now, just continuing on with the drama here, we turn our attention to AJ Brown, as for some reason, it seems like he can't do anything without people starting trade rumors about him, as this time, all the rumors stem from him changing his profile pic on social medias to Tom Brady, which, I mean, I saw that, and I personally didn't think anything of it, but apparently some people decided that this all of a sudden meant that AJ wants to get traded to New England now, which is honestly just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, it's honestly ridiculous that AJ even had to clarify that he doesn't want to be traded, as he then tweeted, quote, "TB12 is my favorite player ever. I watched the Dynasty and it brought back some memories from my childhood. Go look up what he did in 2015 and when he was doubted/disrespected. Yeah, I see the disrespect. Motivated, yes, that's it. I did not think changing my profile pic to the greatest QB ever would cause controversy. Take care." And then on top of that, just to further solidify that these trade rumors are absolutely ridiculous, we got another report, this time from Albert Breer, saying that the Eagles have received calls on AJ Brown this offseason, and they have shut down every single team that has tried to trade for him and told them that he's not available, and that includes the Patriots. Yet, even though it's just so clear and obvious that this is not happening, AJ is staying in Philadelphia, we still have everyone's favorite radio station, WIP, creating trade scenarios for AJ, which is why every Eagles fan is pissed off with them right now. But hopefully one day these rumors will just stop, because real Eagles fans know that AJ isn't going anywhere. Now, I'm going to be covering the Eagles throughout the rest of this entire offseason, so if you don't want to miss any of that, make sure you subscribe, and also really, really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when any of these videos are uploaded. And also, while you're at it, make sure you drop a like down below on this video to show some support, and leave a comment down below just regarding anything that I talked about in this video. And if you want to watch another video going over how the Eagles somehow did the near impossible this offseason, you can check this out right here. Now, with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.